There is a moment in sports history when the titans of one era pause, look back, and unanimously proclaim their awe for the successor. It's a moment of profound, almost existential recognition that what they struggled to achieve might be attainable by this new force. And recently, the legendary Sakamoto Generation, the '88-born baseball elite, did exactly that. Not just praising Hanshin's Teruaki Sato, but confessing a level of almost reverent fear toward his potential, a fear crystallized by Shinosuke Sakamoto himself, revealing that during games at Koshen, he saw balls he knew were home runs die twice mid-flight, swallowed by the infamous wind, confirming what we all suspected. The numbers Sato Teru puts up are a statistical lie, a profound underestimation of his cosmic power.
Welcome to 603 Snap News, where we dissect the gravitational forces of Japanese baseball. And today, we are going deep into why the generation that defines modern NPB excellence sees Sato Teru not just as a great player, but as the ghost in the machine, the player designed to dismantle the very limits they accepted.
When the man of the '88 generation, Ueda, Kajitani, Akiyama, and the incomparable Sakamoto gather, they aren't just reminiscing, they are validating the benchmark of greatness. And their consensus on Sato Teru is devastatingly clear. He is operating on a different plane of existence. The core of their argument isn't subjective, it's architectural. Koshien Stadium, the cathedral of the Tigers, is notorious. It possesses a park factor for home runs hovering potentially around 0.85. A graveyard for fly balls that would be routine souvenirs in any other park. Meanwhile, places like Jingu Stadium, with its short porch, can boast factors closer to 1.15. This variance is the crucial variable the '88 generation seized upon. Listen to Ryosuke Ueda's chilling estimate. If Sato Teru were playing his home games at Jingu, given the sheer velocity of his bat speed and launch angle, is 55 home runs really out of the question? 55 home runs. We're not talking about a projection from a beat writer. This is coming from a seasoned veteran who has faced and studied the best pitchers in the league. When Kajitani, the epitome of the powerful outfielder, chimed in, he's already cracked 40 at Koshien, which tells you all you need to know about his true power. He wasn't offering a compliment. He was presenting physical evidence that Sato Teru's 40 Koshien home runs translate functionally, psychologically, and mathematically to 50+ in a neutral setting. The argument intensifies when we consider the collateral damage. Akiyama brought a different dimension to the table, suggesting that opposing pitchers' fear of the long ball would fundamentally alter their approach. He might not just hit the dingers. He could easily hit 300 if pitchers are forced to nibble and avoid the strike zone out of sheer terror of the absolute bomb. This is the plot twist in the narrative of power hitting. Elite power doesn't just produce home runs, it produces a higher batting average because the opposition has ceded control of the plate. Sakamoto himself confirmed this, noting that when he faced Giants pitchers at Koshien, the balls that died short were often the result of perfect timing and maximum power, only to be neutralized by the environmental conditions. Think about the psychological warfare. A batter who knows he is constantly being robbed by the geography of his home field, yet still maintains his approach and hits 40 bombs. That dedication, that consistent effort against gravity and wind, is what elevates Sato Teru from merely powerful to genuinely transcendental. Now, let's anticipate the counterargument, because every debate about potential has a skeptic waiting in the wings. The detractors inevitably point to Sato Teru's streakiness, the slumps, the swings and misses, the stretches where he looks utterly lost. He's too volatile, they claim. A statistical roller coaster. You can't put him in the conversation with true legends based on inconsistency. This is where the '88 generation's analysis provides the definitive refutation. Volatility is not the opposite of greatness. It is often the prerequisite for singular, era-defining power. When you possess the ability to launch a ball into orbit with the slightest contact, your margin for error is razor thin,
and the swings that miss are merely the byproduct of targeting the upper limit of velocity. A player who prioritizes high contact for a steady .280 average will never threaten 50 home runs. Sato Teru chooses the difficult path, the path of absolute destructive power, and that requires an inherent acceptance of risk.
His slumps are not failures of skill, but temporary recalibrations of a mechanism built for maximum destruction. Furthermore, his WA data backs this up. His barrel percentage, even during slumps, remains among the highest in the league, meaning when he does make contact, it is of the highest quality, a clear indicator that the foundation is sound. The structure is just waiting for the alignment. The true climax of this generational praise, the reason for the profound awe, is the realization that Sato Teru is the statistical anomaly that should not exist in the modern NPB. In an era dominated by specialized pitching and high-tech defensive shifts, a player who can consistently defy the physics of the hardest home run park in the country and who earns comparisons to the most elite sluggers of generations past is genuinely terrifying to face. Sakamoto, speaking for his peers, wasn't just praising a teammate, he was witnessing the future of Japanese power hitting, a future that demands pitchers either concede the home run or pitch around him entirely. When you know that 40 home runs at Koshien is the equivalent of 55 elsewhere, Ueda concluded, you realize that this player is not just one of the best in his league, he is the kind of talent that changes the structure of baseball itself. This deep emotional connection from the '88 generation, a group that knows true pressure and true talent, to the young star confirms the open loop we started with. Their awe is rooted in the acknowledgement that Sato Teru is the first player in recent memory who carries the weight of 50 homer potential, a crown previously reserved only for ghosts of the past. The fans, the Tigers faithful, and the league should cherish every explosive swing because they are watching a player who has already exceeded his measurable achievements simply by existing in the shadow of Koshin's great walls. Now we turn it over to you. Given the analysis from the '88 generation, what is Sato Teru's real ceiling? Not just 55, but what career trajectory do you see for a player capable of defying physics? Drop your predictions and thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button if you agree that Sato Teru is transcendent. Share this insight with fellow baseball fanatics. And of course, make sure you subscribe to 603 Snap News so you don't miss our next deep dive into the hidden truths of NPB.